Japan welcomes millions of visitors every year, but beneath its modern cities and ancient traditions lies a culture built on respect, harmony, and unspoken rules. What seems harmless elsewhere can cause discomfort here. To help you travel wisely, here's what not to do in Japan. 1. Don't be loud in public. In Japan, the concept of public space is deeply intertwined with the principle of wa, or group harmony. This translates into a collective commitment to quiet that you'll notice almost immediately. On trains, buses, and in cafes, a shared unspoken agreement to minimize noise makes daily life more harmonious for everyone. This isn't about being unfriendly, it's a form of mutual respect in a densely populated country. Loud conversations, music bleeding from headphones, or even boisterous laughter can disrupt this shared peace. The expectation is to blend in, to be considerate of the person next to you, and to contribute to the calm that defines so much of Japan's public sphere. 1. Don't talk on the phone on trains. This rule is a direct extension of maintaining public quiet. A phone call is seen as a significant intrusion because it forces everyone in the vicinity to unwillingly overhear a private conversation. You'll see signs everywhere reminding passengers to switch their phones to manner mode. This means silencing your ringer, notifications, and even keyboard clicks. If you receive a call that you absolutely must take, the proper etiquette is to ignore it and text the person back, or better yet, get off at the next station to answer. On long-distance trains like the bullet train, you can move to the vestibule areas between cars to make or take a call without disturbing others. 1. Don't skip acknowledgement. A respectful bow is a fundamental part of communication, a silent language of respect, gratitude, and apology. You are not expected to be an expert, but completely ignoring this custom can seem dismissive. A simple, small nod of the head is perfect and appreciated. When you enter a shop and are greeted, a nod is the perfect response. When a staff member hands you your purchase or gives you directions, a nod and a quiet, "Thank you very much," shows immense respect. It's a small effort that bridges cultural gaps. 1. Don't touch strangers casually. Personal space is highly valued in Japan. Unlike in many Western cultures where a friendly pat on the back or a touch on the arm is common, casual physical contact between acquaintances or strangers is extremely rare. Such actions, even when well-intentioned, can be perceived as invasive and may make people uncomfortable. If you need to get someone's attention, avoid tapping them on the shoulder. Instead, try to make eye contact and offer a slight bow, or say, "Excuse me." Maintaining a respectful distance is the cultural default, so keep your hands to yourself unless you are shaking hands in a formal business setting. 1. Don't cut in line. The Japanese art of queuing is a masterclass in social order and fairness. Whether you're waiting for a bus, a seat at a ramen shop, or to board a train, you will find perfectly orderly lines. The rule is simple and absolute. Always find the end of the queue and wait your turn patiently. There is no ambiguity here. Cutting in line is considered incredibly rude and disruptive to the group harmony. You'll often see markings on train platforms indicating exactly where to stand for each arriving car, and people will form neat lines behind them. Embrace the patience of the queue. It's a core part of the daily rhythm of life in Japan. 1. Don't eat or drink on the move. While it might seem convenient, walking while eating or drinking is generally frowned upon. It's considered untidy and poses a risk of bumping into someone and making a mess. Similarly, on local commuter trains and subways, consuming food is avoided. This is to prevent strong smells, potential spills, and creating rubbish in a crowded shared space. The major exception is on long-distance trains, like the Shinkansen, where the journey is long and seats come with tray tables. Here, eating a bento box, or ekaiben, is a cherished part of the travel experience. If you buy food from a street vendor or convenience store, the polite custom is to stand to the side, near the shop, to finish your food before moving on. 1. Don't point or gesture excessively. In Japan, body language is typically more reserved. Pointing directly at people with an index finger is considered accusatory and rude. Even pointing at objects or in a direction can be seen as aggressive. The more polite and common way to indicate something is to use a soft, open hand with your palm facing up, gesturing gently toward the person, place, or direction. When referring to yourself, the custom isn't to point at your chest, but to lightly touch your own nose with your index finger. Being mindful of these subtle differences in gesturing shows a high level of cultural awareness and respect. 1. Don't tip. In Japan, wholehearted hospitality means excellent service is the standard, not an extra that requires a tip. It's already factored into the bill. Leaving cash on the table can cause confusion. Staff may think they made a mistake and try to return it. Instead of a tip, a polite bow and a sincere, "Thank you for the meal" after eating is the most appreciated way to show gratitude.
Thank you for the meal.
Now, let's talk about chopsticks. While they are simple utensils, they come with a set of etiquette rules that are important to observe. 1. Don't stick chopsticks upright in rice. This is perhaps the most serious dining taboo in Japan. A bowl of rice with upright chopsticks is used in funeral rites to honor the deceased. Doing this at the dinner table is seen as a bad omen and is deeply disrespectful. When you're not using your chopsticks, the proper place for them is on a chopstick rest. This keeps the tips, which have touched your food, from touching the table. If no rest is provided, place them neatly together across the top of your bowl or on a small plate. 1. Don't pass food, chopstick to chopstick. After cremation in Japan, family members pass bones with special chopsticks before placing them in an urn. Because of this, passing food directly from your chopsticks to someone else's feels morbid and should always be avoided. If you want to share a dish, the correct method is to pick up the food from the communal plate and place it onto the other person's small individual plate. Or, place it on your own small plate first, and then they can pick it up from there. 1. Don't play with chopsticks. Treat your chopsticks with respect. They are eating utensils, not toys or pointers. Avoid waving them around, spearing food, drumming on the table, or pointing at people or dishes with them. Think of them as an extension of your hands. Use them with intention and grace. While we're on the topic of table manners, here's one that might surprise you. Slurping your noodles is not only acceptable, but often encouraged. Especially with dishes like ramen or soba. Slurping is seen as a sign that you are thoroughly enjoying your meal. It also helps to cool the hot noodles as you eat them. So go ahead, don't be shy. However, one common mistake is pouring soy sauce directly over your plain white rice. Rice is a revered staple, and it's meant to be enjoyed for its own subtle flavor. Soy sauce is intended as a dipping sauce for things like sushi and sashimi. If you need to add flavor, dip the other items from your meal into the soy sauce before eating them with your rice. 1. Don't eat while walking. In Japan, eating is generally an activity that deserves one's full attention and is done while stationary. While it might be common in other cultures to grab a snack and eat on the go, in Japan it's considered poor manners. People will typically stand to the side near the vendor where they bought the food, or find a designated seating area to finish their snack or drink before moving on. The main exception to this rule is at festivals, where the lively atmosphere makes it more acceptable to enjoy street food as you browse the stalls. Even then, you'll notice most people find a spot to stand and eat rather than walking through the crowds with their food. 1. Don't leave food behind. A strong cultural value is to avoid waste, especially with food. Finishing every last grain of rice on your plate is a powerful, non-verbal way to show gratitude to the chef, the farmer, and the food itself. It respects the entire process that brought the meal to your table. 1. Don't ignore mealtime gratitude phrases. Before eating, many people say a phrase meaning, "I humbly receive," to show appreciation for everyone and everything that made the meal possible. Then, after you've finished, say, "Thank you for the meal." It's a way of thanking everyone involved, from the chef to the staff, for the wonderful meal. Using these simple English phrases shows cultural respect and will be warmly received. 1. Don't wear shoes indoors. This is a fundamental rule observed in homes, temples, and many traditional establishments. The entrance area, or entryway, serves as a boundary between the outside and the clean inside space. When you enter, remove your shoes in the lower entryway, pointing them toward the door. Then step up into the main living space, avoiding contact with the lower floor. This is a primary sign of respect for cleanliness. 1. Don't forget indoor slippers rules. Upon entering, you'll often be provided with house slippers. Use them. You'll also see a separate pair just inside the bathroom door, toilet slippers. Switch into them for the restroom and switch back when you leave. Walking out wearing toilet slippers is a common, slightly embarrassing mistake. 1. Don't sit anywhere you want. If a room has traditional straw mats, remove all slippers before stepping onto them. These mats are delicate and considered clean indoor flooring. Try to avoid stepping on the cloth borders, as this is considered disrespectful. If you see floor cushions for seating, do not step on them. Kneel beside the cushion first, then slide onto it from your knees. 1. Don't show tattoos in public baths. Because of long-standing associations with organized crime groups, many hot spring baths and public baths prohibit guests with tattoos. The rule aims to ensure comfort for all patrons, particularly older generations. Policies are slowly changing, but always check in advance. If you have tattoos, look for tattoo-friendly establishments or book a private, reservable hot spring bath for a guaranteed relaxing experience. 1. Don't wear revealing clothing in sacred or traditional areas. When visiting temples, shrines, or even just walking through quiet, rural towns, your choice of attire matters. These are places of worship and community life, and dressing modestly is a simple, yet powerful sign of respect. This generally means covering your shoulders and knees. Avoid tank tops, short shorts, and low-cut shirts. While you don't need to be formally dressed, opting for a t-shirt over a singlet or trousers over very short skirts demonstrates cultural awareness and respect for the sanctity of the space. 1. Don't invade personal space. Finally, be mindful of the invisible boundaries of personal space. While you'll find yourself in crowded trains where physical contact is unavoidable, in most social situations, Japanese people tend to maintain a greater physical distance than is common in many Western cultures. Avoid overly familiar gestures, like backpatting or hugging, unless you know someone very well. In conversation, on park benches, or in queues, maintaining a respectful distance is the norm. Acknowledging and respecting this personal bubble is a subtle but important part of smooth social interaction in Japan. Sichatori ikoturfrates, and 1. Don't walk through the center of shrine gates. The central path through a gate and the main approach to a shrine is considered reserved for the gods. Walk slightly to the side. 1. Don't skip purification rituals. Before approaching the main hall, cleanse yourself at the purification fountain. This symbolic act of purification is an essential sign of respect. 1. Don't take photos where prohibited. While exteriors are usually fine, photography is often forbidden inside temple and shrine halls to protect sacred objects and the atmosphere of worship. 1. Don't be loud or play music. Sacred spaces are oases of calm. Your conduct should contribute to the serenity, not disrupt it. Speak in whispers and move deliberately. 1. Don't touch religious objects. Statues, bells, and other artifacts are sacred items, not museum exhibits. Observe them from a distance and respect all physical and invisible boundaries. Nakin is Tizin Auswarts. And 1. Don't hand money directly. At shops and restaurants, always use the small tray provided for payment. This avoids direct hand-to-hand contact and is considered more polite and hygienic. 1. Don't expect public trash cans. The cleanliness of Japan's streets is maintained by a system of personal responsibility. Be prepared to carry your trash with you until you find a bin. Excuse me. Don't assume everyone speaks English. Learning a few basic phrases and being prepared with a translation app or written addresses shows respect and makes communication easier. 1. Don't break rules because no one is watching. Japanese society values a collective social contract. Following rules like waiting at crosswalks is done out of respect for order, not fear of punishment. 1. Don't assume Japan is the same everywhere. Customs, dialects, and even escalator etiquette can differ between Tokyo, Osaka, and the countryside. Stay observant and adaptable wherever you go. Japan doesn't expect perfection from visitors, only effort and respect. By understanding what not to do, you open the door to deeper connections, smoother travels, and unforgettable experiences.